Most people don't realize how quickly life can shift the moment they decide to take action, and it often begins with the simplest choice, one small step taken tonight that quietly sets a transformation in motion. You've been carrying the weight of hesitation, waiting for the perfect moment to start caring for yourself, but the truth is that powerful change never waits for perfect conditions. It begins the instant you say, "I'm ready," and follow it with a single, committed action that proves you mean it. Taking the first small step toward healthier nails tonight is about recognizing that meaningful change often begins with the simplest actions. Too often, people wait for the perfect moment or assume they need elaborate treatments or dramatic transformations to make progress. In reality, what creates momentum is the decision to do anything that moves you in the right direction. When it comes to your nails, especially if they've been neglected or you've been feeling self-conscious about them, the most powerful shift you can make is choosing to start caring for them today rather than postponing it until tomorrow. This first step doesn't have to be complicated. It could mean examining your nails more closely than you usually do, paying attention to their color, their thickness, their texture, and the way they're growing. Simply noticing the current state of your nails creates awareness, and awareness naturally leads to intention. It might involve cleaning your nails thoroughly, something that takes only a few minutes but makes a significant difference in how they look and feel. Warm water, gentle soap, and a soft brush can remove buildup and leave your nails fresher than they've been in a long time. That alone can make you feel like you've begun something meaningful. You might decide to trim them properly, smoothing the edges to prevent snagging or irritation, or moisturize the surrounding skin to restore comfort. These actions are small, but small doesn't mean insignificant. Small means manageable. Small means repeatable. Small means something you can do tonight without stress, cost, or overwhelm. Taking that first step also shifts your mindset. It signals to your brain that you're prioritizing your well-being, even in an area as overlooked as nail health. When you take a moment to care for your nails, you're also taking a moment to care for yourself. That creates a ripple effect, making it more likely that you'll continue nurturing habits that support comfort, cleanliness, and confidence. Starting tonight also eliminates hesitation. Instead of telling yourself you'll get to it eventually, you make a conscious choice that eventually is now. That choice builds self-trust. You demonstrate to yourself that you follow through, that you take action, and that you can create change step by step. There's also something empowering about beginning with a task that is easy to complete. You don't need specialized products or complicated tools. You don't need hours of time. You don't need expert-level knowledge. You simply need willingness. The small step you take tonight becomes the foundation for whatever comes next. Whether you continue tomorrow, build a routine over the next week, or gradually incorporate better habits, everything starts with the first moment you decide to do something productive and beneficial. By choosing to act tonight, you shift from passive wishing to active doing. You interrupt the pattern of postponement that keeps small problems lingering longer than they should. You create momentum, not by force, but by a gentle, achievable action that reminds you that caring for your body doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to begin. Consistency in simple routines leads to visible improvement because the body responds best to steady, repeated care rather than sporadic bursts of attention. When you commit to a small action and repeat it regularly, you give your nails, skin, and overall health the kind of ongoing support that allows gradual change to take place. This isn't about dramatic transformations or overnight results. It's about the quiet power of showing up for yourself little by little. Simple routines are easy to underestimate because they seem too basic to matter, but the truth is that they work precisely because they are sustainable. When a routine is simple, you're far more likely to stick with it, and sticking with it is what produces improvements you can actually see. Every time you follow through with your routine, you reinforce the environment your nails need to stay clean, healthy, and well-maintained. Something as straightforward as washing and drying your feet thoroughly each day prevents moisture buildup that can lead to irritation or discomfort. Trimming your nails properly reduces the risk of thickening, splitting, or catching. Moisturizing regularly supports healthier surrounding skin, which indirectly helps the nails remain protected. None of these steps are complicated, but together, performed consistently, they create a foundation of care that builds over time. Consistency is also a signal to your body. The more reliably you support any part of yourself, the more your body adapts to that steady input. Just like exercise works through repetition, maintenance works through repetition as well. A single day of care might feel nice, but it's the accumulation of days, the routine that becomes second nature, that brings visible change. When you keep showing up, you give natural processes the chance to work without interruption. Healthy growth takes time, and time needs consistency to produce results. Another reason simple routines matter is that they prevent the little problems from becoming bigger ones. When you check your nails daily, you notice changes sooner, which lets you respond sooner. When you clean regularly, you stop buildup before it becomes stubborn. When you moisturize consistently, you maintain flexibility and reduce dryness before it leads to cracks or irritation. Small tasks, repeated often, act like protective habits that quietly keep issues from escalating. Improvement becomes the natural side effect of prevention. There's also a psychological benefit to consistency. Each time you complete your routine, you reinforce a sense of discipline and self-care. You strengthen the belief that your efforts matter, that you're capable of maintaining habits, and that taking care of yourself doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. This shift in mindset can make the routine feel less like a chore and more like a personal ritual that supports your well-being. The more you repeat it, the more automatic it becomes, eventually turning into a part of your daily rhythm instead of something you struggle to remember. In the long run, simple routines offer a sense of steady progress. You may not see dramatic changes immediately, but you will see subtle, consistent improvements that accumulate into noticeable differences. It's the quiet, patient work that creates the clearest results, and the reliability of your routine becomes the fuel that keeps those results developing over time. Confidence begins with personal care and attention because the way you treat yourself directly influences how you feel about yourself. When you take even a few moments to focus on your well-being, you send a powerful message inward that you matter, that your comfort matters, and that your appearance and health deserve your time. This isn't about vanity or perfection, it's about the quiet reassurance that comes from knowing you are actively tending to the parts of your life and body that support your daily comfort. When you care for yourself, you show your self-respect, and that respect naturally grows into confidence. Personal care doesn't start with dramatic routines or expensive products. It starts with the basic, simple actions that help you feel clean, prepared, and grounded. Something as small as washing your feet, trimming your nails, or moisturizing can seem ordinary, yet these small acts create a sense of order and control. They remind you that you're capable of maintaining your body and managing your needs. Each time you take care of yourself, you reinforce the understanding that you are worth the effort. Confidence rises not from sudden transformations, but from repeated reminders that you're taking steps, however small, to honor your own well-being. Attention to yourself also sharpens your awareness. When you tune in, you start noticing the details you often overlook, the areas that feel neglected, the habits that could be improved, the small discomforts you've been ignoring. That awareness gives you the power to act. You can adjust, refine, or repair things before they turn into bigger issues. This proactive approach not only improves your physical condition, but also builds trust in your ability to handle what comes your way. The more attentive you are, the more control you feel, and the more control you feel, the more confident you become. Caring for yourself consistently also creates a sense of personal stability. It becomes a ritual, a moment in your day where you reconnect with yourself instead of rushing past your own needs. These moments add up. They create a rhythm in which you regularly check in with yourself, acknowledging what feels good and what doesn't. You begin to notice improvements, even subtle ones, and those improvements reinforce your belief that your actions matter. Confidence isn't just built on results, it's built on the experience of showing up for yourself again and again. There's also something deeply empowering about not waiting for someone else to fix things for you. When you take responsibility for your personal care, whether it's grooming, hygiene, or simple maintenance, you reclaim ownership over how you feel. You no longer rely on external validation or approval to feel good about yourself. Instead, you generate confidence from the inside out. You know you are taking care of your body, and you know you are paying attention. That self-generated confidence is stronger and more durable than anything someone else could give you. Ultimately, personal care and attention act as a foundation. They ground you, support you, and remind you of your own worth. The more consistently you tend to yourself, the more naturally confidence flows into how you walk, how you speak, and how you carry yourself throughout the day. Small habits create meaningful long-term change because they are the building blocks of lasting transformation. Most people imagine that big results require big actions, but in reality, the most powerful changes come from small, steady behaviors repeated over time. These habits are approachable, easy to integrate into daily life, and far less intimidating than large, dramatic commitments. When a habit is small, it feels manageable rather than overwhelming, which means you are more likely to stick with it. The consistency that follows is what ultimately produces long-term results. One small habit performed daily can have more impact than a large effort performed once and forgotten. Small habits also work because they accumulate quietly. You may not notice their effects right away, but with repetition, the benefits grow and compound. A few minutes of daily care, organization, or maintenance may seem insignificant in the moment, but over weeks and months, those minutes add up to hours of investment in yourself. This gradual accumulation builds momentum. As the habit becomes part of your routine, you no longer have to force yourself to do it, it becomes automatic. Once a habit reaches that level of ease, it continues to support long-term change without requiring constant motivation or willpower. Another advantage of small habits is that they lower the barrier to starting. Many people put off positive changes because the idea feels too big or too demanding. But when the step is tiny, something that takes a minute or two, it becomes almost impossible to justify delaying it. That simplicity gives you a psychological win. You complete the action, feel a sense of accomplishment, and reinforce your ability to follow through. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more you do it, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the easier it is to maintain the habit. Small habits also influence your identity over time. Every time you act, you cast a vote for the kind of person you want to be. When you consistently repeat a small, healthy, or productive habit, you reinforce the identity associated with it. If you take a moment each day to clean, care, or improve something in your life, you begin to see yourself as someone responsible, disciplined, and attentive. That identity shift is one of the most powerful forces behind meaningful long-term change, because once you believe you are the type of person who takes care of things, your actions naturally follow that belief. In addition, small habits have a ripple effect. When you consistently follow one small habit, you build confidence in your ability to maintain others. You prove to yourself that you can keep commitments, even tiny ones, and that proof creates motivation to expand your efforts. One habit leads to another, and gradually, your routine becomes filled with behaviors that support your well-being. What started as a single small action grows into a network of positive choices that shape your daily life. Over time, these small habits transform the bigger picture. They enhance your sense of control, improve your environment, strengthen your confidence, and contribute to your overall health and comfort. The changes may be subtle at first, but they compound until the long-term results become undeniable. Prioritizing foot health is an act of self-respect because it demonstrates that you value your comfort, mobility, and overall well-being. Your feet carry you through every day, supporting your weight, absorbing impact, and allowing you to move, explore, and complete even the simplest tasks. Yet, they are often neglected or overlooked until discomfort forces attention. Choosing to care for them before problems arise is a powerful acknowledgement that you deserve to feel good, not just when issues appear, but as a consistent part of your daily life. This mindset shift transforms foot care from a chore into a meaningful form of self-maintenance that honors your body and its needs. Giving attention to your feet also reinforces a level of personal responsibility. Instead of waiting for irritation, dryness, or nail issues to become unavoidable, you take preventive steps, cleaning regularly, inspecting for changes, and maintaining healthy habits. This proactive approach reflects a deeper understanding of your own worth. When you care for something important, you naturally protect it, support it, and prevent unnecessary stress or damage. Treating your feet with that same respect sends a message to yourself that your comfort and health are not optional but essential. Prioritizing foot health contributes to confidence as well. When you know your feet are clean, trimmed, moisturized, and well-maintained, you carry yourself differently. Confidence isn't only about outward appearance. It's also about how comfortable you feel in your own skin, and foot care is a surprisingly influential part of that. There is also a mental shift that occurs when you prioritize foot health. You begin to view self-care as something you actively incorporate into your life rather than something you reserve for rare moments of indulgence. This shift encourages balance and stability. It reminds you that even small acts of maintenance can have a profound impact on how you move through the world. When your feet feel supported, you feel more grounded both physically and mentally, and that groundedness can influence your posture, your energy, and your mindset. Prioritizing foot health also highlights the connection between small habits and overall quality of life. Comfortable, healthy feet contribute to better mobility, which in turn affects your mood, your productivity, and your level of daily activity. When walking feels good, you move more. When you move more, you feel more energized and capable. This chain of effects begins with the simple choice to treat your feet with care rather than letting them go overlooked. Finally, foot health as an act of self-respect helps reinforce the idea that your body deserves thoughtful attention. Every time you take a moment to clean, inspect, or maintain your feet, you reaffirm your commitment to your own well-being. This is a form of respect that grows over time, strengthening your relationship with yourself and reminding you that your comfort is worthy of the care you give. Transformation starts with one committed action because every meaningful change, no matter how large or far-reaching, begins with a single moment of decision. It is easy to look at the bigger picture and feel overwhelmed by the distance between where you are and where you want to be. But the truth is that progress never comes from tackling everything at once. It comes from choosing one action you can take right now and dedicating yourself to it with sincerity. That commitment becomes the spark that lights the path forward. When you choose to act, even in a small way, you interrupt old patterns and create space for new possibilities to take root. A committed action carries weight because it represents intention. It isn't about wishing or hoping for improvement. It's about declaring to yourself that you are ready to participate in the process of change. That shift in mindset alters the way you think, the choices you make, and the energy you bring into your day. It marks the moment when you stop being a passive observer of your situation and start taking ownership of it. This sense of agency is powerful. It reinforces your belief that you have control over your well-being, your habits, and your daily experiences. One committed action also builds momentum. Once you take that first step, even if it's small, you feel the satisfaction of having done something productive. That feeling encourages you to continue. Momentum grows not from intensity but from consistency, and consistency begins with a single action you choose to repeat. Over time, these acts of commitment stack on top of each other, turning what once felt like effort into a natural part of your routine. The power of momentum lies in its ability to make progress feel more achievable with each step forward. This initial action also helps you overcome hesitation. Many people delay change because they fear failure, feel uncertain, or believe they need more time to prepare. But action itself becomes the antidote to doubt. When you take the first step, you prove to yourself that you are capable of moving forward even without perfect circumstances. This creates a shift in your self-perception, transforming uncertainty into confidence. You no longer ask whether you can do something, you show yourself that you can. Taking one committed action also deepens your connection to the outcome you want. It turns an abstract desire into something tangible. You begin to see your efforts translating into progress, no matter how subtle at first. That sense of progress fuels motivation. You realize that meaningful change isn't the result of one dramatic moment, but of many small actions carried out with dedication. In addition, committing to one action creates a sense of structure. It becomes an anchor in your day, a reminder of your goals and the steps you're taking to reach them. Whether the action is related to care, organization, health, or personal growth, it becomes a touch point that aligns your mindset with your intentions. You begin to build reliability within yourself, strengthening trust in your ability to follow through. Ultimately, transformation is the cumulative result of these committed actions. It evolves gradually, shaped by your determination to keep showing up. The first step is simply the doorway that leads you into the process, proving that even the smallest act, when chosen with commitment, can set you on a path toward meaningful change.